Today we're going to talk about Black Glaze in Song Dynasty, which is 960 years to 1279 years. Well, the Black Glaze that I'm going to talk about is specified and manufactured in Jizhou town and in Jiangxi province, which is the south of China. Well, I believe many of you had already read the article or about to read the article that I wrote about Black Glaze, and this video is to provide more information on it. Well, the Black Glaze represents the highest standard of aesthetic, the minimalism aesthetic in Song Dynasty in China. And the Black Glaze are made for the clergy class, which is the class who controls the religions, the philosophy, and sometimes the education. But it is not the case in China. They don't control education. They only control the entertainment and the philosophy and also the ideology of culture. Well, because the clergy class, they have controls of the entertainment, and so the place they lived, which is the temples, became the cultural center, and the upper class and nobles and royal families are entertained there by flower ceremony, tea ceremony, and during arts, musics, and poet competition, and sort of things like that. And the Black Glaze that we're talking today is made for clergy and for their tea ceremony. The name of the tea ceremony in Song Dynasty is called Dian Cha. Well, Dian Cha, the two characters, Dian means the action of using a bamboo brush to brush the tea, and basically it mixed the tea powder with the boiling hot water and making the tea. And cha is of course the tea. So Dian Cha is actually describing the action of brushing the tea. And the tea ceremony in Song Dynasty are brought to Japan, which forming their own system of tea ceremony nowadays. But actually their original base is from China, from Song Dynasty. And the thing about Black Glaze, the black color, is actually from the Qing Dynasty, which is about 200 years before BCE. So the culture of Qing Dynasty, they like black color because they think it's the color of water. And as the Chinese culture said, water can bring harmony and also balance into things, which is the two most important idea in Chinese philosophy. So the black color represents water, and although it's originated from the Qing Dynasty, but the manufacturers in Song Dynasty, they adopted that idea and made that into their own thing and applied into the Black Glaze. And also, the main religion in Song Dynasty is Taoism and Buddhism. Well, Buddhism is a foreign religion to China, and Taoism is the local one. However, they mixed into their ideology mixed into one, and also mixed with Confucius ideology, and forming a very localized culture. That culture was accepted by the whole society, including the noble and royal class. Thus, they are very appreciated with the Black Glaze teacup. Well, because of the Black Glaze teacup are manufactured and produced in Jizhou town and in Jiangxi province, many other places are also copying that. For example, in northern China, Cizhou town is also copying the Jizhou style. But however, because the clay and the water they have different nutritions and different impurities inside. So the clay in southern China have more iron ions, but in northern China they are lacking of iron ions in their clay. So actually the quality are better in the Jizhou province, averagely. Or talking about the tea ceremony, tea is the most important good that China were relying on throughout the history, from Tang Dynasty to late Qing Dynasty, and also led to European War. So tea exporting and tea consuming in Song Dynasty is also very, very important. And however, that is being controlled by the clergy class and making them very, very wealthy. So the clergy actually, if they appreciate the Black Glaze style, they're buying more. And because the rising demand, the supply of Black Glaze also rising. However, after Huizong, the last emperor in northern Song Dynasty, because of the Mongolians, they invade China, and Huizong, the Hui emperor, he ran to Hangzhou, which is the south of China, and the producers of the Black Glaze. And some of them died, and some of them became too old to produce the same quality. And because of war, the original place that they made, and which have the specific type of clay, that place is gone and being destroyed by warfare. So they changed the place. However, the quality of clay isn't that good as before. So the quality of the Black Glaze also reduced, and it is not any. Well, it's less appreciated by the royal and upper class because of the warfare, and they need to put money into fighting wars with the Mongolians. However, they lost the war, and because of that, the tea ceremony are being simplified by the Mongolians because the lower class and the working class of Mongolians also have the demand for drinking tea. So the ceremony cannot be that complicated anymore. And by that, the Black Glaze are less appreciated by the Yuan dynasty. So the quantity reduced. And in later on dynasties like Ming and Qing dynasty, they appreciate white glaze. So it's not Black Glaze anymore. And they disagree with the ideology of Song dynasty. So Black Glaze are being abandoned by the tea ceremony and by the upper class. So no one produces it anymore in that scale. So mainly nowadays we can see samples and artifacts of Song dynasty teacup, but we can see very little samples of Black Glaze teacup from Ming, Qing, and Yuan dynasty. Well, the main point that I'm going to emphasize today is the minimalism aesthetic of the Black Glaze and how that aesthetic were being appreciated by the clergy class and the upper class in the society in Song dynasty. Oh, if you're interested in seeing an actual tea ceremony, you can go to Japan, and places in like Kyoto and Tokyo, they both have the old shops, like the traditional shops that the owners might practice tea ceremony still. But however, it's not the same as the tea ceremony in Song dynasty, but you can see the influence of the Song dynasty because the Japanese tea ceremony are originated from the tea ceremony from Song dynasty.